I decided to put this clip together because I feel strongly about the fact that we are being spewed and sprayed by chemicals, whether it's the government behind the government, wherever it's coming from. Military and commercial planes are being used to spray the population of this world with chemicals such as barium, aluminium and strontium. And I want to share that with you, as many people have using YouTube and other modes of communication. Here's my take on what's been going on. In 2002, the Guardian newspaper reported that the Ministry of Defence turned large parts of the country into a giant laboratory to conduct a series of secret germ warfare tests on the public. A government report provided for the first time a comprehensive official history of Britain's biological weapons trials between 1940 and 1979. Most of these tests involved releasing potentially dangerous chemicals over vast swathes of the population without the public being told. The report reveals that military personnel were briefed to tell any inquisitive inquirer the trials were part of research projects into weather and air pollution. Families in certain areas of the country who had children with birth defects demanded a public inquiry. While the government insisted the chemical was safe, cadmium is recognised as a cause of lung cancer, and during the Second World War was considered by the Allies as a chemical weapon. Some families in areas which bore the brunt of the secret tests in the 1970s in Dorset were convinced that the experiments led to their children suffering birth defects, physical handicaps and learning difficulties. David Orman, an army officer from Bournemouth, demanded a public inquiry. His wife Jeanette was born in East Lulworth in Dorset, close to where many of the trials took place. She had a miscarriage, then gave birth to a son with cerebral palsy. Jeanette's 3 sisters, also born in the village while the tests were being carried out, have also given birth to children with unexplained problems, as have a number of their neighbours. He said, "I'm convinced something terrible has happened. The village was a close-knit community, and to have so many birth defects over such a short space of time has to be more than coincidence." Successive governments have tried to keep details of the germ warfare test secret, while reports of a number of the trials have emerged over the years through the Public Records Office. This latest MOD document, which was released to Liberal Democrat MP Norman Baker, gives the fullest official version of the biological warfare trials yet. Mr. Baker said, "I welcome the fact that the government has finally released this information, but question why it has taken so long. It is unacceptable that the public were treated as guinea pigs without their knowledge, and I want to be sure that the Ministry of Defence's claims that these chemicals and bacteria used were safe is true." Sue Ellison, spokeswoman for the Porton Down, "Independent reports by eminent scientists have shown there was no danger to public health from these releases which were carried out to protect the public. The results from these trials will save lives should the country or our forces face an attack by chemical and biological weapons. Asked whether such tests are still being carried out, she said, "It's not our policy to discuss ongoing research." In 2008, the German government admitted that they too had been spraying the population using military aircraft to manipulate the weather, containing fine dust containing polymers and metals to disrupt radar signals during war exercises with other countries. Since the 1990s, I've watched almost daily thick trails of thick lines in the skies coming out of the back of airplanes. You obviously see contrails where the fumes just slightly stay for a few minutes, but chemtrails stay and linger and disperse and emerge into the biggest of clouds, quite often completely smothering the sunlight. Tests on water and soil around the world have concluded that chemicals such as barium, aluminium and strontium are being sprayed over us. If this has moved you at all and you feel that you want to do some research and get in touch with me, and we can contact as many people as possible to wake them up to what is being done. We all know people who've had cancer, who've died of cancer, who've survived cancer. The numbers are staggering, the statistics are staggering how cancer has risen over the last few years, and other diseases. I relate this and can only accept that this is down to the chemtrails that we are being sprayed with. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on email, which is Julie Croley, which is Croley @mail.com. That's Julie Croley @mail.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Last week I learned that Dr. Brian May of Queen fame was coming to Dorchester to speak at a meeting to inform the local people that a government planned cull was going to be happening of badgers across Dorset in the southwest. I did see it as an opportunity to go and speak to Dr. May and to share my research of chemtrails with him. Obviously a very high profile person, and I was looking for someone to voice what I haven't been able to get out. I realised very quickly halfway through the meeting that had I stood up and given the speech that I wanted to, I would have either been culled or at the very least shouted down. So I just decided I would take the opportunity at the end of the meeting and go and speak with Dr. May, which I did. So here's the very small clip of me meeting Dr. Brian May and handing him some research and emails that I've received from government ministers and MP Oliver Letwin in response to me emailing them about the chemtrail phenomenon in this country. Thank you.
Yeah, they did. Yes. Here we are. If anyone wants a card,
squeeze in there. If you fall in your hand, you feel dry.
not that far.
Have that.
If anyone wants a card, take one. No. Brian. It's not to sign, it's for you from me. Sorry, can I just speak to Brian? Brian, it's not to sign. Anyone wants a card? I'm going to supply the